Everyone, welcome you all for today's video. Today I am going to do very interesting experiment, that is determination of melting point of compounds. So I am Hasanka. Please subscribe my channel and stay with me. Let's go to the video. Okay, here I have melting point determination apparatus. I have Bunsen flame, and here I have my crystals. I am going to find out the melting point of my crystals, and I want to confirm, I want to know the identity of my crystals. I do not know what is the compound. In previous video you saw I extracted or I recrystallized some compound. So crystals are here, bright crystals. I do not know what is the compound. I want to know the compound. So to identifying the compound, I have to find out the melting point. When I find out the melting point, I can compare with other compounds and I can find out what is my compound. So melting point is a identity, is an identity card for this particular compound. So there are so many technical practices. First of all, I have to, you can see, I will show you, the crystals are here, they are look like plates or needles. So to determine the melting point, I have capillary tubes, this type of melting point determining capillary tubes. I will show you. Very tiny glass tubes. So I have to seal one end of this tube because both ends are open. To fill this tube, our compound, one end should be sealed like a test tube. So this is like a mini test tube. I have to adjust. Okay. After filling my compound, I will keep that inside this paraffin oil bath and I will heat it. When I am heating at particular temperature, my compound will melt. At that time I can read that temperature by this thermometer. Okay. This thermometer we can read up to 300 Celsius. So we have to use that much of capacity contained thermometer. So there are so many technical practices. When I am determining the melting point, I have to always stir. This is a stirrer. I have to always stir the solution to obtain a homogeneous temperature. Okay. First of all, I have to make these crystals into powder form. I have to convert the needle shaped crystals into a powder. So I have to crush these crystals by using this type of porcelain tile, and I will crush it by using this spatula. After that I will fill these small tubes with that powder. Everything is important. Please come and have a look very carefully. Come. Okay. Here we have our Bunsen flame, Bunsen burner. Here we have our tubes. So our compound should fill into these tubes. You can see these are very tiny glass tubes, very tiny glass tubes. Okay, very tiny glass tubes. You can get an idea. Okay, but both ends are open here. This end and this end both ends are open. So we have to heat one end using Bunsen flame and automatically it will seal. Okay, I will heat one end and you can see it will be sealed. Okay, come. Okay, now you can see this end is open and this end also open. I will heat one side and you will see it will be sealed. it is heating, and end will, you can see its end is now, it has a cap, you can see now this end is closed, you can see glass melted and that end was sealed. Okay. Now this act as a mini test tube or mini boiling tube. This end is open, this end is closed. This will act as a test tube. Okay. Now I will fill my sample into this tube. Okay. Okay. Now we have this white tile. Here this is a white tile. I will use back side of that white tile and one edge. Okay. One corner I will select. At there I will grind my crystals. Okay. First of all, we have to clean the tile. I am using this edge, because of that I will add small amount of methanol. Okay. And I will wipe it to clean the tile. Okay. Okay. That end should be very clean. Okay. Now what will I do? Now I will add a small amount of my compound. Here you can see crystals. I will add very small amount of my crystals. Those are very tiny needle shaped crystals. Okay. Because of those are crystals, very hard to get out. Small portion. Okay. Now I got very small amount. Okay. Okay. Now I have to crush it. Okay. I will grind my sample. Okay. Okay, like this, by using the back side of the spatula, I will grind my sample. You can see they ground into very small powder, very tiny powder. You can see my crystals are grinding into tiny powder. Okay, now everything is okay. I will close my crystals and I will keep aside. Okay, now I will fill my capillary tube here. Okay. You can see here I have my powder. I have to fill this capillary tube. Okay. I have to get the aid from this spatula also. I will add very small amount into the open end of the tube like this. You can see the small amount went inside, and I will touch it like this. I will give vibrations like this very little vibrations, okay, like this, okay. You can see my compound is collecting at the bottom, the sealed end, okay. Likewise, you can fill this capillary tube. Actually 1 or 2 millimeters is sufficient for determining the melting point, okay. I mean the height of this compound, 2 millimeter will be very enough. Actually here we have around 1 millimeter. You can see actually this amount is very sufficient, very little amount is very sufficient for our melting point determination. So, filling out the capillary tube is now finished. Let us go to the melting point apparatus. Okay, here you can see the melting point apparatus. Here we have a paraffin oil bath, and inside that we dipped a thermometer to read the temperature, and we have a stirrer. I have to stir always to get a homogeneous temperature. Here I have a Bunsen burner. First of all, I have to insert our sample tube into this paraffin oil bath. Okay, let us come and have a look very closely. Here our paraffin oil bath. Okay. So, how can I keep my capillary tube? It is very easy. Here we have our capillary tube. First of all, I will dip my capillary tube in the paraffin oil bath. Now, some amount of paraffin oil will stick on the surface of this tube, and I will contact this tube with the thermometer, and it will adhere there, that will stick. You can see my capillary tube is stick there because of surface tension of this oil. Okay. Now, we do not need any other aids. Okay. Now, you can see inside the capillary tube is there. Okay. However, the important thing is the thermometer bulb and my compound should be in the same line. Thermometer bulb and the capillary tube end should be in the same level. Okay, now it is okay. You can see both are in same level. Okay. Now I can heat the paraffin oil bath. Okay. I can heat the paraffin oil bath, and I will carefully observe the melting of my compound. Okay, I will light the Bunsen burner. Okay, I have to carefully and always I have to stir the solution like this. I will stir the solution like this. Okay, while we are stirring, we have to heat like this. We do not heat gradually. Okay, we will let our we will hold our Bunsen flame like this. We will heat some time and we will stir. Okay, we allow to heat and we will, after that sometime we will remove the Bunsen flame and we will stir, and we have to carefully look at the scale. When it is going to stable, again we have to heat, like this. We will heat some time. Okay, we will heat the solution like this. We will heat the solution like this and we will remove the Bunsen flame and we will stir. Okay. And at the same time we have to carefully look at our compound as well as the scale. Again, when the scale is stable, we have to again heat like this. We should not continuously heat the solution, that is the thing. We have to stir the solution. We will stir, we will carefully look at the compound as well as the scale. When the thermometer scale is stable, again we have to heat. So, we have to do heating like this. It should not continuously heat. Okay. Okay. Now, let us determine the melting point. Okay. I do not know the compound, but carefully look at, here you can see inside, here you can see white color mean our compound. I will heat, okay, heat and I will stir, you can see compound is always, still compound is solid, you can see in white color. Again I will heat little bit, okay, again I will stir. The important thing is the thermometer bulb and the compound should be in the same level. Okay. Okay. You can see now temperature is above 60. You can see that also. Temperature is above 60. Now it is reaching to 80. Okay, we will see. Again I will heat, still my compound is solid, it was not melting. Let us heat again and I will stir. Okay, here we are obtaining melting point range. It will start at one temperature and melting will complete at another temperature. So, that range should be observed and record very carefully, and there are standard tables. We have to compare these values with that standard tables and we can find out the compound. Here I am heating again and I will stir very well. Again, now temperature is above 90. Okay, we will see what will happen. Now it is reaching to 100. We will show you reaching to 100. Okay, let us see what will happen. Always careful about the level, that should be same, thermometer bulb and the compound. Again I am heating. Okay, now temperature again rising. Now it is passing 100 and going above. Okay, let us see what will happen. I will heat again. Okay, again I will stir. Now temperature is reaching to 110. You can see reaching to 110. Okay, 110. Still the compound is solid. We will see what will happen. Now I will heat it again. Okay, again I will stir the solution, paraffin oil bath. Now it's reaching to 120, actually it's still 115. Okay, still it is solid. Okay, we will see what will happen. Now it's reaching 118, still it is solid. Now it is reaching to, actually now it's stable. I have to heat it again. Okay, they should be in same level. Okay, I will stir. Now it's reaching, it's passing 118. Okay, we will see what will happen. I will heat it again, very small amount. Okay, now the temperature is reaching to 120. We will see what will happen. Still it's below the 120 mark. Okay, now it's 120. Actually now I am able to see some melting. Okay, now temperature is 120, near 121. Okay, the walls of the tube we can clearly observe, and something is happening there. I will heat again. Now it's, you can see something is there happening. It started to melt. The temperature is 121. Actually, I will heat it again. See now. Now it's completing its melting. Now you can see the temperature is 122. Now you can see now it's totally melted. Okay, now there is no any solid, everything is liquefied. You can see there is a bubble also at there. That means it start to melt at 120 and 121, and it finished its melting around 122. So those are the values of mine. So we will compare these values with standard values. So here we have standard tables. Okay, melting points of some common organic compounds, and here you can see the range. Melting point range you can see. Okay, here you can see 120, 121 and 122. That means that chemical is going to be benzoic acid. Okay, now the compound is tally with benzoic acid's melting point range. We refer the standard tables. So now what we are going to do, how can we confirm that? So we have to confirm that. We compared our values with standard table. I observed my melting point as 121 and 122. That's the range. So that range is tally with benzoic acid's melting point range. So how do we confirm that? So here I have original benzoic acid compound. So how can we confirm our value? So we will get a small amount of our product, our crystal, and we will add equal amount of original compound also in 1:1 ratio of original compound and our crystal, and we will crush them and we will mix them homogeneously and we will fill it again to a small tube. So, we will do our experiment again. When we are repeating our experiment with both original and our compound, if the range is same, that means our compound is benzoic acid. If not, what if not? If we mix both solvent and both chemicals and we will put in this paraffin oil bath, and if the temperature range is lower than the initial one, that means our suspected chemical is not our chemical. So, it is very simple thing. Now, I will explain the summary. First of all, we have to determine the approximate melting point. That means we initially get our sample and we will crush it by using this type of tile, backside of tile, and we will fill it into a capillary tube. One end should be sealed. Okay. We will fill it with our compound and we will keep it inside the paraffin oil bath and we will heat it. Okay. The heating should not be continuous. We will heat sometime and we will remove the Bunsen flame and we will stir the solution, and when the thermometer scale is stable, again we will heat. Likewise, we will heat our paraffin oil bath and we will observe the melting of our compound as well as the scale of thermometer. After that, when the chemical start to melt, we will record that value, and when the chemical finished is melting, we will record that value also. We will get a melting point range. We will refer standard tables, the tallying values. By using those values, we will guess our compound should be this chemical. Here it was benzoic acid. That is the approximate melting point. After that, we have to confirm our real melting point. At that time, we will get small amount of our suspected chemical as well as same amount of our crystal, and we will mix them together homogeneously and we will crush it into powder and we will mix them homogeneously and we will fill it into another capillary tube and we will keep inside the melting point apparatus and we will determine its melting point also. If the value is same as previous one, approximate melting point, that means our compound is the suspected chemical, that means benzoic acid. If the melting point range is lower than the approximate melting point, that means our suspected chemical is wrong. We have to repeat with another chemical. Okay, that is the end of melting point determination, and I guess you may learn so many technical things also, techniques also. So, that is the end of this video. We will meet in another video. So, have a nice day. Please subscribe my channel and share this video with your friends.